up, fantasy friends? I'm Carrie Oehm from HotRoster now, and I'm here to help with your NBA and NHL waiver wire, so let's dig in. Starting in the NBA, a player you should look for on your wire is Seth Curry. The Mavericks have put him into the starting lineup lately, and he has been producing. Curry has averaged just over 15 points per game with 3.8 rebounds and almost 2 steals in 9 starts. And he's getting more playmaking opportunity with Deron Williams out with a toe injury. Now, I don't know how long Williams will be out, but Curry should see increased production as long as he's sidelined. And even when Williams does return, I think Curry's still a good option, as Dallas might give him a bigger role in the second half as they continue towards a lottery pick. Now, a guy you should consider losing is Enes Kanter. Kanter was starting to really hit a stride as he was averaging 16.2 points and 8.4 boards per game in January. But then he sustained a fractured forearm after punching a chair last week. He will be sidelined for 6 to 8 weeks, which just barely gives him enough time to get back in time for fantasy playoffs without a setback. So I would definitely drop this guy. Over the ice, mid-season coaching changes don't always work, but then again, sometimes they do. Just look at the Pittsburgh Penguins last year, and most recently take a look at the New York Islanders. Since Jack Capuano got chopped, the Islanders have gone 4-0-1, and have picked up 11 of possible 12 points in the last 13 days. This little hot streak has them right back in the run, and a player who's been heating up, other than John Tavares, is his line mate Anders Lee. He's tallied a point in 5 of his last 6 games with 3 goals and 4 assists. He ranks second in goals and shots on the season behind Tavares and is on pace for a 30-goal campaign. He doesn't log a ton of hits and blocks, but he does log decent minutes on the power play. With 5 power play goals this season, he is a good option. So if you see this guy in the wire, I'd definitely pick him up. There's no doubting that the Washington Capitals are the cream of the crop in the NHL. They continue to dominate both sides of the puck and rank first in the league with 72 points in 49 games, and fantasy owners can definitely take advantage of their success. A guy who you should look for on the wire is Andre Burakovsky. He's available in about 70% of leagues and has really started to settle in on a productive line with Lars Eller and Brett Connolly. He's tallied a point in 7 of his last 8 games with 4 multi-point games and is second in the league in points during that span, only behind John Tavares. I think Burakovsky continues to break out this season, so I would definitely pick this guy up if you see him on the wire. Sticking with those red-hot Capitals, Dmitry Orlov is one of the most undervalued defensemen in the NHL. He's on pace for a 40-point season and has 2 goals and 4 assists in his last 6 games. He's the top defenseman on the wire right now and is only spoken for in about 30 to 40% of leagues. Orlov shouldn't be overlooked in deeper leagues that recognize categories like plus-minus, given that he's a plus 21 on the season. When thinking about the Leafs this season, you're probably thinking about those red-hot rookies, but James Van Riemsdyk and Nazem Kadri are having a solid campaign as well. JVR is tied with Austin Matthews for the team lead with 39 points, and Kadri is right behind him with 35. They're also second and third in shots this season, plus over the past month, they've really picked it up even more. With 7 goals and 7 assists each since January 1st, they're both tied for 5th in the NHL in points in that span with 14. And have contributed on the man advantage. Kadri has posted 5 power play goals, while JVR has 2. So if you see either of these buds on the wire, I would pick them up. Well, that's it for me. Make sure you join us tomorrow when Cam Stewart examines one of the NBA cards available on HotRoster. And for those of you who don't know what HotRoster is, check it out. Go to HotRoster.com, download the app, and give it a try. It's like no other fantasy game you've ever played. Then for some help winning the game, check out HotRoster today with Cam Stewart and Gary and Thorne every weekday at 4:30 Eastern, only on the Fantasy Sports Network. For HotRoster now, I'm Carrie Oehm.